Some people say miracles are impossible. But before making that claim, it is worth asking one important question. Impossible in what kind of world? If God truly does not exist, then miracles are indeed impossible. If all that exists is matter, energy, and impersonal laws of nature, then no resurrection, healing, or supernatural event can occur. But the problem is that such a statement already assumes that God does not exist. And that is precisely the central question. Because if God exists, the situation changes radically. In that case, a miracle is no longer a logical impossibility. Why? Because a miracle is not a violation of the laws of nature, as though someone were breaking in the order of the universe. A miracle is the action of the one who established those laws in the first place. Imagine an engineer who creates an extraordinarily complex system. The fact that the system operates according to certain rules does not mean that its creator can no longer intervene in its operation. On the contrary, the creator possesses the greatest authority over what he has made. The same is true of the laws of nature. They do not exist independently. If the universe was created by God, then the laws of nature are part of its design and purpose. And therefore, the Creator has the authority to act not only through those laws but also above them. For this reason, the question of miracles cannot be separated from the question of God's existence. First, we must answer a more fundamental question. Does the Creator exist? If the answer is no, then miracles are indeed impossible. But if God exists, then a miracle can no longer be dismissed simply by saying it contradicts nature. Because we are speaking about the one who created nature itself. This is especially important when discussing the resurrection of Christ. Many people say the resurrection is impossible because the dead do not rise. But Christians agree with that. According to the ordinary course of nature, the dead do not rise. That is precisely why the resurrection is called a miracle. The question is not whether human beings can raise themselves from the dead. The question is whether there is God who has authority over life and death. If God does not exist, then the resurrection is impossible. But if God exists, then the resurrection can no longer be declared impossible in advance. At that point, we must examine the historical testimony, the evidence, and the arguments